after so long. Okay. So welcome to the Policy Development Program brought to you by the Vongster engagement team. And this is a very authentic concept aiming towards creating a deeper understanding among us the Vongster regarding a certain topic or theme in a creative way. This engagement plan provides you with the platform for research, analysis, and to form policies collectively as a team. All the 5 Vongsters teams will be participating every Friday of June to develop a better understanding of this month's theme. Like this month's theme is LGBTQ plus community rights, while forming or building up a policy paper of their own throughout the process. The event is designed to enhance your research, analysis, as well as content creation skills. At the end of today's programs, each of the teams will be given a surprise topic for this month for their research, on which they will be writing a policy paper, and they will be submitting it by Tuesday of the next week. So we will be briefing about this thing at the end of this program. Meanwhile, I will be telling you that this event is also to test your teamwork and coordination skills. Your mentors will be helping you throughout the preparation. And the theme for this month is basically LGBTQ community rights. Now, Priyank will be explaining you about the theme a bit, and we will be moving towards a general discussion on the theme itself.
Yeah, so I'll start with a quick, fun interaction. Okay, Asta, answer me this. Um, what is your gender?
Okay, female.
And how do you know it is female?
First of all, I was assigned as a female
Hmm.
when I was born, and then I also prefer to stay, stick to my assigned gender.
Okay, you actually answered it very smartly. So, will you agree that what gender is what you believe in? Like you think you are a female, so you are a female.
Yeah, I believe that there is a huge difference between gender and sex. And sex is something that, from my knowledge, if I'm not wrong, sex is something which is assigned, during the birth, and gender is something which person, hormonal changes and a person's belief
Yeah,
is described.
exactly. We talk about like two concepts over here. First is the biological sex, as you said, what is assigned to you, and then there is the psychological sex. So that is pretty much it. Okay. So after that, uh, what do you think is sexual orientation and romantic orientation? I'll divide them for you. Romantic orientation is how you show your love, and the sexual orientation is the act of it. Okay, so do you think they're the same thing or they're different? This
I would
question
say
is
that
to Anupurnama, not
uh,
Tini. Anupurnama, can you answer at the moment?
I mean, there is a difference, right? But like when you're actually doing it, then isn't there some sort of emotion, you know?
Hmm. Well, to be honest, some people like sexual orientation is just about how you feel in the act of it, while the emotional part is covered in the romantic orientation. Okay, so here we can also learn about the asexual community. So in their case, they might not feel sexually aroused towards someone, but they at the same time be romantically attracted. So that is the case. Okay, so again, like if we move to the 2017 discussion on section 377, like think about it. The penalty for being homosexual was a lifetime imprisonment, or at minimum an imprisonment of 10 years. Like, would you even live in a place where you are imprisoned for loving someone? So that was actually section 377, which was abolished, or I would say decriminalized in the year 2017. Okay. So Asta, that was all at the moment.
All right, Pram. Thank you for the, like the questionnaire thing you did. And I would say that Wongsters and people right here, that the reason why we are having this theme and why we are making these policies is because this month is specially dedicated to them, to the community, LGBTQ plus community, and we celebrate it as a Pride Month, as the Pride Month. If most of you must be knowing about this, and at the end of the session, we will be assigning each one of the teams a specific special topic where you can research and reflect it in a policy paper. So for that, Shaurya will be explaining you the format. But before that, I would like to know each one's point of view. Like, what do you guys think about this theme and, Pride Month in general? So let's start by Yugandhra.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Yugandhra.
It's nice to meet you. First time it is. Actually, the topic we take are about the sex and gender today is quite way confusing for me. I mean, as I'm not that much qualified to learn about that much, so it is little bit confusing. I don't have that much knowledge. Like as the someone says sex, it is biological, and gender, it is psychological. I just don't little bit understand it.
No worries, Yugandhra. Tell me one thing. Are you willing to understand more about it?
Yeah, I'm willing to understand.
Perfect. That's what we need, right? You have your mentors, you have us. We will be definitely be providing you with some research. You can, even self-learn. We always encourage everyone to, start learning something different every day. So since this is the Pride Month, you can research about Pride Month, and I will be personally would love to help you personally. I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Thank
And
you so much.
not an issue, and I'm so glad that you came up and you are honest about your opinions, and you told that you're confused, and that's totally fine. So moving ahead, Gauri, why don't you let us know about your opinion on Pride Month and about the community in general?
Right. I think it's a nice initiative. And when we talk about this topic, I too wasn't very much aware about the rights and things associated with it. So I'm on the same side as you, Gandhra, but I would love to learn more about it. And through this initiative, I would like to increase my knowledge and bring about a change. So this is Pride Month. So this topic fits the month perfectly. So I'm looking forward to the proceedings.
Perfect, Gauri. This is exactly why we have organized this month. Like we have organized this policy making thing. This is basically a workshop. You guys will be learning from each other. You guys will be, researching about certain things and, coming up with your own points and discussing it with us every week. So who wants to go next? Namya.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Um, okay, I was very excited when I heard about the topic, and I know enough about it to have a debate. And I think it's really great that everyone's opening about it, and our generation is talking about it so openly. And it just shows how much we've developed over the years and how we are accepting everyone with the way they are, and we're not. Um, bad mouthing anything because if you are gay or if you are anything in the LGBTQ community, you cannot control it. That's the thing. It was not in your hands. It will never be in your hands. And I'm really happy and delighted to be able to speak about it and share my opinion. Really looking forward to everything that's going to be lined up for the month.
Wow, So I'm happy because I'm hearing someone so enthusiastic about this topic, and I'm also like so excited for debates and discussions about such things. So yeah, Namya, I'm sure that all of us will be having a great month discussing this whole theme. And moving ahead, let's have another Vongster. Anupurnima.
Can you give me 1 second? I'm just gonna fix my mic.
Yes, definitely. Take your time.
Yeah, okay. Is my audio clear? Okay.
Yeah, so we basically would like to know about your opinion about this topic or this theme, and what do you generally think about Pride Month and LGBTQIA community?
Okay. Like everyone said, like I know enough about it, like Namya said, but I feel like there's still a lot that I don't know, and I feel like I have these perceptions that might be wrong. So like I'm ready to learn from others' opinions and all that. And also Pride Month, it's a good initiative, because it's like celebrating the community and their activism, and like it shows that we're actually trying to move towards equal justice for everyone, no matter your sex. Yeah.
Right, that's nice to hear, Anupurnima. Any of the are we done? I think we are done with the Wongsters' opinions. Yeah. Do
Anirudh,
we, uh, Aniruddha is a Wongal. Also, if any of the Wongals would like to speak about this topic, we would definitely appreciate it. Anyone? Yes, sir. Please go
In
ahead.
the end, after everybody's done it. So I'd
Okay,
like to
sir.
speak. Okay, I think Nisa has also just joined.
Yes, sir. That's what I was going to say. Hi, Naisa. Would you, since you joined now, I would just brief you, in a nutshell that this is basically, we have just started a program that is policy development program, and it will be for this month, the theme is LGBTQIA community rights. And here we are just taking the opinions of every Vongster present here and what they feel about the community, or even if they are aware of the presence of the community. So would you like to, give your opinion, give your views about the community? Nisa, do we have you with us? All right. So I think we should move forward. Shaurya, why don't you switch on your camera if you're comfortable? Also the Wongsters. Please do it, guys.
Guys, 3 more people on the desk. वो desk अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, 3 लोग बैठे हुए वहाँ पे खाली बैठे. So at least 3 more of you switch on your videos. 2 more, come on, 2 more. 2 more. प्रयांक वापस आओ. Okay. गौरी is here. गौरी को कैसे बिठाएं हम यहाँ पे?
Gauri will have to remove her background in order to come to this thing, if I'm not wrong.
नहीं वो आ जाएगी. मेरे तो background के साथ ही आया हूँ.
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe I have to do it manually. 1 second. Okay, I'm removing Anirudh and I'm adding Gauri. And who's this? Who's this switched on? Anirudh only switched on, na? Huh. All right. Yay! Anirudh कैसे गोल गोल आ रहा है? Okay. Okay, let's have Sagita here.
Yes.
Sagita, don't switch off your video. All right. Okay, let's go for it. Who was
Yeah.
expressing? Hmm.
So next up, we will be talking about the format of policy making. Like, see, in real policy making, in like how it happens in India, it is like, you know, in a professional level, it is very much different, and it is something which we need not have to worry much or stress upon. Rather, we need to focus more on our understanding and the depth of research we will be putting on that content or on that document. So now Shaurya will be explaining everyone, the Wongsters, about how to create a policy paper and what will be the Wong policy development format we like.
Before that, can I express my excitement about the event?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Um, so I'm very excited. Firstly, because of the nature of the event. The topic, of course, is very interesting, but the nature of the event, which is policy making, that we are going to be doing. I think this was an amazing idea that came about, and we've dedicated every Friday to that. So every month we'll be focusing on a different theme, and we'll try to develop in the course of that month. Um, some do a lot of extensive research in that space and come up with policy recommendations or how you bring about a large scale change in the society, whether it's through the government or it's through certain campaigns that we do or something that the media does, so something like that, which starts to look at these things in thinking about a change. So I'm really excited about the possibilities of this. I don't know, what how long it will take for us to shape this into something very powerful where we are able to go around and take these recommendations to start thinking about the change. But this is a start, and I'm really excited about the whole possibility of this particular forum or and the nature of the event. um, and we are going to try and bring in some experts also from this field, and I'm hoping that we are not doing formal presentations here. This is not a forum to showcase our presentation skills. This becomes a place, every Friday that we come together, that we are really exchanging ideas, about what somebody else has got. You look at that and have dialogues. We do some more breakout rooms or some. So it becomes like a meeting place to exchange ideas and no show off, kind of thing. No formal presentations and those kind of things. Even when we get an expert here, we would try and avoid them to come in and present things, but rather, come in there and interact with everybody and add value to our understanding. Um, so hopefully that, and the topic itself, about the LGBTQIA community. Yeah, I think um, it's a I have seen that this generation is uh, very knowledgeable and understands the sensitivities involved here, and is more empathetic to the plight on how the discrimination has happened over the many generations to this particular community. So we're already in a better space, better shape, um, but then this the people that I'm interacting with are also niche. So I think this has to spread, and the understanding has to become deeper. So I think the opportunity is, uh, wherever we may have learned from, to go deeper into the history, what's really happening around, and how bad this is, and what kind of things may need to be done to bring about the change. And for me, this is a representation of the entire inequality and discrimination that is there uh, across different kinds of discriminations and inequalities that are there. So this is a representation of that. So if we can start to be more inclusive about the LGBTQI community, I think we can start to extend that to other communities and other opportunities as well. So from that point of view, I consider this very powerful. So let's see. I'm very excited to see, and I remember the last policy presentation also that happened. It was very good. That also gave me the idea that we can do something very interesting. So I'm really looking forward to extensive involvement, deep research, and something very interesting to come out from this forum. Yay!
Thank you for your insights, sir. And I totally agree with you. And you actually covered all the considerations of the event, like what Vongster should expect from it, and what the event will expect from the Vongsters. More of a workshop and more of a program. So, Shaurya, why don't you start with the format? You can also screen share if you require.
Definitely. First of all, am I audible to everyone? Clearly audible to everyone? Right, that's great to hear. So I'll just screen share. So would you allow me to screen share? I have a very fancy looking document for you all. So
You have.
thank you, sir. Yes. Right. Is my screen visible, sir? Right, great. Okay, so hi everyone. You all know me, right? I'm Shaurya. So this is a very fancy looking document. It looks very, humongous and like very scary also, I guess, because I have dark mode on, but like it is nothing like that, right? So basically it's what the format of the event is going to be. So first of all, I'll explain what policy making actually is, and like hinting like more explaining what sir actually said right now. So I actually covered most of my points, but like still. So basically, policy making in real life, as we see, is the process through which public policy, or basically laws, as we usually call it laws or regulations, public policy is the correct word, is formulated. So in our governments and democracies, it is the parliament, the legislature which makes it, right? Now coming on to why we are doing it. So we at Wong, our motto is about making people's attitudes change, influencing them to influence change, right? So our point over here through this event, as sir mentioned, is about not about expressing yourself in a better manner about presentation. It's more about understanding the issue at the core concepts. So that is why. So if you look at the format I'm going to explain right now, it explains the topic which we have for this month, LGBTQIA plus rights, right? So it will allow you to explore this topic in detail and then be able to put it forth in your understanding in your own words, which is basically going to, in a longer run, going to enable you to understand it in a deeper manner and also enable you to expand your reach. Reach out to other people and make them agree with you, make them understand what you understand, and even go farther than that. So moving on to the format of this thing, as Asta mentioned, we are going to give you basically one topic and assignment wherein you all have to read up and do a sort of research and prepare a sort of document in this format and send it to us by Tuesday. Format is very simple. I'll be sharing the document with all of you in the respective groups, and the mentors will do it the same as well. So this is the format. First, we have a topic. Topic is nothing but the heading, where you have to mention what it is. Give any fancy name, any funny name, anything you like. It has to be catchy. It can be anything basically. Heading or proposed or policy. Abstract. No, abstract is just a heavy word, or just like a beautiful word you can say to mention to mention brief what your policy is. You have to mention three things, right? What is the problem, what you're solving, what you're doing to solve it, how will it solve the actual problem, why is it a good solution. There are three things. It has to be very short, like 100 words or max 150 words. That's it, right? Now we have the introduction. Now this is where the main policy, the main document making starts. Here, induction basically includes a short introduction about what the topic is, topic introduction, what you are doing, what you are going to be doing, and things like that. Intention over here is what people called aim. You heard words like aim, vision, these words, right? This is what intention basically means. Intention is nothing but what is your thinking or thought process behind making this document, behind making anything, behind you making. If I'm saying that, I will do something, I obviously think why I'm saying this, right? I'll think why this should be done, why that should not be done. This is what intention is basically, what you have the thinking behind it. Existing framework is basically we obviously have certain existing laws, policies, things in place where the in our country, we're talking about India only. So this part in theory, this has to cover the theory aspect, as you can see here. I bold it as well. Yeah, theory. It has to cover the theory part, what actually exists in the laws. Like we have a certain special section, and like Priyank mentioned about decriminalization of section 377. The things which you can mention over here, how they play a role and how they're important, if they're important, up to you, right? Then we have the current scenario part. This will enable you to go a bit far. It's basically an extension of the previous part. It's about the practical aspect of it. Like, here you can see the word practical. I've bolded it as well. It's about on the ground level, practically what exists. Because sometimes it's different theory. You might find that, there is a law. Let's say there's a law that you have to pay 2,000 rupees fine for not wearing a helmet. But, we've all seen how it many times is not followed on, like things like that. So you can mention implementation failures and things like that in this point. Moving on next, the consideration. This, as sir also mentioned, is very important because this explains that what are the problems, what are, as I mentioned, demands of stakeholders. Stakeholders, again, fancy word, basically means who all are people involved in this. You can put it as government, you can put it as political members, government, you can put it as NGOs, you can put it as members of LGBT community, you can put it as allies, right? It can be anything, up to your imagination. The purpose of the entire exercise is to you enable you to use your imagination and you to have a very core concept understanding of the issue of the entire topic, and then apply it with your creativity so that you can come up with something which you can use to further your further spread awareness on this issue. Then we have limitations. Limitations is basically what your problems are, what are things that you need to pass through, what are some obstacles you'll get in your way. Obviously, if you're trying to do something, we'll find some obstacles, we'll find some resistance, right? Some issues. These are just, you have to mention these issues and like how you think you can overcome them. Now the word provisions over here, this basically means what you're going to do. As I mentioned over here, this is the main part. That is just the above parts are basically nothing but points, like small things which are just prelude, as we call it, right? Prelogue basically is a better word. The provision, the main part, like what I'm going to do. For example, I can say I am going to give everyone, just an example, a special card, right? Or I'm going to say anything basically, like marriage age is 18 years, not 21 years, or something like that. Anything which you want to do, the main part, what do you want to do and how you want to do. These two questions need to be answered. What and how. This is the part. This is the main part of the document. Then the summary part. Summary basically, just if the provisions part is very long, right? If it's like a 1-page thing, you can put it in the summary, like in a one paragraph, like 40-50 words. That's the part of summary. You can want to skip the summary, you can, but it's only there to summarize the provisions. If provisions are short and crisp, you need to add a summary. Then you have the expected outcome. The expected outcome basically includes the part about, let's take an example of 2030, because we have 2030 as the year with the UN and everyone set it like that, right? We also have the Women 2030 event. Take the year 2030 and see by the year 2030, if your policy, if your program, if your rule is put into force now, what will be the result or effect of this program in the society around us, in the world around us, in the year 2030? What will be the situation right now? Try to use your imagination, try to find some sort of logic if possible, and come up with an answer, come up with a small crisp answer, 50-100 words, but what you think can be. For example, if I say, voting age 16 years of age, so I can say that more people will get elected, more people will vote. I can do n number of things, right? It's just use your imagination, try to follow some sort of logic and connect it with your policy. That's what's important. Then we have the conclusion. I believe this is self-explanatory. Conclusion basically means you need to conclude it, give an ending to it, right? This is it, like, this is the policy which I'm making. This should be the, you can end with a quote, end with anything you want. This is the simple format, right? And I have put the wrong watermark in the bag. No one can copy it as well. That's the new thing I did. But otherwise, I believe everyone is clear. Any doubts? Anupurnima, Gauri, Sangeet, Yugandhara, Namya, Naisa.
No doubts.
That's right. I'll share this with you all. It's a very simple thing. You can make some edits if you want, It's not a very hard and fast, just a basic framework. I thought I'll share with you all. It'll streamline your entire process. You are absolutely free to, make edits, add additions and all that. But try to follow this basic format to a certain extent. It is easier for us to understand as well, and you to write it as well. We are able to compare everyone's, and then you'll also have an activity. You're reading others' policy papers and understand, trying to give your feedback on them, as Asta is going to explain in a few moments. But yeah, any doubts?
Also, okay,
Yeah.
do we have any doubts?
Yes, Naisa, yeah, I was coming to that. Basically, today is Friday, so we have thought that you can take 3 days, that is 4 days actually, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So at Tuesday night, Tuesday evening actually, you can send it to us, right? Tuesday 5 p.m. works, Asta?
Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday submitted by 9 to 10 p.m. It will be totally fine, not an issue. But
Sarah and I discussed, we were thinking if we can shift it to Wednesday, like give them a day more.
okay,
Definitely, take it
that
Wednesday
would be
5 p.m. I guess you'll have a proper, to be honest, day and a half more, to be honest, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, 5 p.m. You can share it with us. You can share it if you want an email. The mentors will share the email. If you want to share in the WhatsApp group, in the mentor group, you can share it there as to your convenience. But the mentor will share to this further. But that's it, how it's supposed to be. If you have any questions, you can obviously ask me or your mentors at any point of time. And with this, I have a question in the chat box, I guess. Please mention the date, not just the day. Right. Wednesday. 8th, right? It's 8th, right? It's 8th of July, of June, my bad. 8th of June, 5 p.m. is the submission time, date and time.
क्या क्या सबमिट करना है 8 जून तक स्टूडियो?
This proposed policy document which they have, they'll get a topic shortly in the format I just explained. They will submit a short document about that topic.
Okay, so I think जो मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है वो ये है कि हम पूरे महीने एक पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट पर काम कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए 8th को कुछ एक पार्ट सबमिशन हो सकता है, पार्ट रिसर्च हो सकता है, और ये थर्ड जो हमारा होगा, दिस इज द फर्स्ट फ्राइडे, देन देयर इज द सेकंड फ्राइडे, दिस इज द थर्ड फ्राइडे. तो थर्ड फ्राइडे पे हम डिस्कस करेंगे अबाउट दोस पॉलिसीज. सो बिटवीन सेकंड एंड थर्ड, दैट मींस 8th के बाद 15th हो गया. 15th is when they should be submitting the policy document.
Right now, you're correct. Actually, we're only submitting the part of it, like the topic which they'll be getting right now. It will only be a part of the main topic, like our main topic.
Right.
It's
तो
a very
वो बता, वो थोड़ा और रिफाइन कर देना कि 8 तक वो लोग क्या प्रेजेंट करें.
Yes, definitely. So, may I speak for a moment? Yeah. So, guys, before concentrating on any of the topics, I would highly suggest that your mentors will be providing you with some research, like basic research about LGBTQ plus community. Just go through the documents and learn about it for us. Even if you have the idea, just check the facts, what you know, and if something there is, you should know. So that you don't left out on the facts and what is true and what is not. And there are a lot of misinformation sites too. So we would highly suggest to stay connected to your mentors. Then about this policy paper, this might seem a bit complicated, I would say, but this is not at all. I'm telling you that you will be assigned a topic, each of the teams. You have to work as a team. So in your respective teams, you will be assigned a topic and you will be working on that topic. You will be researching for it, analyzing it, and what will be the things that you will like to do for for the community, for the LGBTQ community regarding that topic. Okay. So when we will be giving you the topics, you will know more about it, like कैसे बनाना है, कैसे start करना है, and everything. And plus you have your mentors. So you need not have to worry. Plus, if you have any doubts afterwards, just shoot it right now. Anyone?
I have a question for the boxers. Like, for the resources, would they like short form, like short form में content या फिर long format content?
I couldn't get your question.
It's a question to the Vongsters, whether would they would like short format content or long format content for the as resources.
वो क्या होता है? Short format content, long format content क्या होता है?
Like if I'm planning to send on a YouTube video over a topic, okay, I can send 4 videos of like 10 to 15 minutes each, or I can send a hour-long video. So whichever is easy to consume for them.
Definitely the shorter one, I guess everyone will prefer, you know.
Shorter ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
So
also have
I
to.
also feel that they should be able to do their own research. What you provide is value add. मतलब अपनी research खुद करो.
Yes, definitely.
हाँ आप हाँ और थोड़ा सा हेल्प दे सकते हो आप उनको कि भाई ऐसे ऐसे भी है.
In this case, what we'll do is, we'll stream, because this we are also trying to make it sort of a friendly competition spirit, friendly spirit. When we encourage participants from all teams, we'll share only one doc, right? One research doc, which will not have any links. We'll just have research or maybe some links, but with all teams, the same doc with all teams. And after that, whatever every team does on its own is up to its members. So team members are also motivated to carry on their own research in the friendly spirit. So that's why everyone gets the uniform doc. No one team will have the benefit of that their mentor send them more research or something like that. It'll be uniform doc, which me and the other Wongers will create. The longest sir will make it and send it to you by tomorrow or today only, most probably. Right? So you can start with the research tonight after session. Start with just basically reading up. Just type up the topic on Google, just copy paste even, and just read whatever the 5 6 articles come into you. Just read them. Don't write anything. Just read them.
Yeah.
Okay. And tomorrow, try to go read more, make some small pointers, and then start by day after tomorrow. Start from Monday, Sunday actually. Start with putting into the format which we have shared a little bit at a time.
Yes, exactly. So moving
one more
forward.
thing. No,
Yes.
one more thing. I just want to talk about the opportunity on the 10th, this Friday. So was there any of the Wongsters there for the SDG Wonk or no, for the what was that, youth inclusion summit? Okay, so in the youth inclusion summit, we had invited the world's #1 transgender CEO, Vivian Ming, and what an inspiration she was, to talk about. I think, and interesting part was that she went through a gender change. So she was a man, and post surgery she became a woman. And her journey through, what it felt like doing the same thing, with the same, exact brain and everybody, and but how people would perceive that same person as a woman. So it was so interesting. Uh, on the 10th, which is next Friday, we are inviting again a very successful LGBTQI. She's actually a lesbian in America, in Los Angeles, and she has a family with 4 kids, like 2 twins, um, and a very successful businesswoman there. Uh, she's a turnaround specialist. She's the CEO of some very interesting companies there, and she's recently written an article about her own journey, um, life journey, on how she has been unwelcomed by her own family, and how her journey has been over the last many years, and how it feels to be that, and now she's also a parent to a transgender child. Uh, so that also, how it feels to be doing that, and how do you manage the sensitivity, and despite being from that community, how it feels. So and she also heads some NGO also in this particular space, and she's associated with these causes for many years. So there's an opportunity for all of you, all the teams, to understand the aspects that you are researching more through an interaction with her. So we're bringing her in next Friday only for the purpose that you can go beyond your own secondary research, and understand some of these issues. She will be talking more about how it is in the US, but she may also have some ideas about India. In any case, the policies that we are talking about, the research, we are not necessarily talking about India, we're just talking about generally what should be there, and you can look at it from a global perspective. Um, and you can understand from her um, the the aspects in reality what they are and where the improvement is required. So that would be an amazing opportunity for all of you.
Definitely.
Next Friday, yeah.
It's a great opportunity, everyone. Like sir mentioned, like this was something that you could all complement your research with, to be honest. Because on the net you can only find what things that are already existing, to be honest, in some part of the world, or like some secondary information, second data as we call it. But the primary data or the primary information, you will be able to actually interact with the resource person, with the person who's coming in, and be able to ask your own questions as well, and interact, gain your own answers to your own questions, and so on, and listen to her own life experience. It's something of a very unique opportunity to getting over here. So please take full advantage of it.
Exactly. Um,
Right, Asta is having a bit of a network issue, I believe, not an issue. So basically, now what we have been going to be doing is we're going to give you the short topics, or going to divide you into teams and the short topics, which you're going to do the research and the entire project thing on, as we mentioned, right? So just let's wait for a minute. Yeah, Asta, is the net stable now?
yeah, I'm really sorry about that, guys. I would say that let's directly jump into the surprise topics, and I would really suggest that one by one, Vongus can also explain you about the topic a bit, and then you can, like each team can present their views on the topic, or if something they know about it and how they feel about it. So yeah, Priyank and Shaurya, I guess Priyank, yeah. Priyank, why don't you start by the assignment thing?
Yeah. So we'll do that through like a chat system. Okay. So I'll say a name, and sir, can you just pick any number between 1 to 5? Okay, and I have the list.
I will not pick. Make somebody else pick.
Anirudh, will you do that?
Sure.
Just the number in between 1 to 5. The first team would be Astha. Pick a number for her.
2.
2. Okay, wait. Astha, your number is 2. Just remember that.
All right.
Okay. Next team, Shaurya.
4.
4. Shaurya, your number is 4.
Right.
Then the next team would be Pariniti. Pick a number for her.
1.
1. Okay. Then Nikita.
And 5.
5. Nikita. Okay. So third one directly goes to Ishita. Okay. So I'll reveal the topics to all of you. So please give me the screen sharing option.
You have it.
Okay, people. So these are the topics for the policy development thing. And the first topic is policy recommendations to support inclusion of LGBTQIA plus students. So like we'll be focusing primarily on the students in general. These can be high school students as well as college students. That completely depends on you, but they should be students in all educational institutions, and how we can make life easier for them, feel them more included within the communities. Okay, so that is the first thing, and that was the topic of Pariniti's team. Anyone from Pariniti's team over here right now?
It's me, Yugandhara.
Okay. You have any doubts at the moment? Or you want?
Yeah, I have doubt. In that, do we have to justify about students type or anything else?
Like it is about the whole life of students. Like आप स्कूल जाते हो तो उसमें the transport से अगर start करें, ठीक है, think about कि बस में क्या क्या face करना पड़ सकता है एक queer person को, ठीक है. फिर आप ऐसे करते करते क्लासेस हैं, ठीक है, सब्सटीट्यूट्स हैं, पीटी पीरियड्स हैं, क्लास में जो पढ़ा रहे हैं उसके बेसिस पे हो सकता है। तो जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट, परिणति विल
Oh,
हेल्प यू।
okay. Okay.
It
Thanks.
could even be aspects like स्कूल में कुछ क्लासेस भी हो सकती हैं, जैसे सेक्स एजुकेशन होता है बट उसमें जेंडर सेंसिटाइजेशन के बारे में पता ही नहीं चलता. देयर इज नथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट.
यस सर,
तो एजुकेशन के अंदर में भी कुछ चेंजेस हो सकते हैं.
Okay, sir.
एब्सोल्युटली. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट टीम
सॉरी,
इज
एंड लेकिन काम इसमें सब में यही करना है कि हमें करंट रियलिटी क्या है उसको समझना बहुत जरूरी है बिफोर यू डू एनी रिकमेंडेशंस. ब्लाइंडली रिकमेंडेशन करने का पॉइंट नहीं, करंट रियलिटी है क्या. So actually understanding that plight, that's the first step. And maybe I don't know yeah, for submission ka kya target hai, but if it's more around that, your understanding of what the current reality is, that would be very helpful.
और इसके आगे मतलब अगर डाउट्स होंगे, क्योंकि अगर आपको फर्स्ट हैंड एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है तो यू हैव द स्पीकर सेशन ऑल्सो, यू कैन ब्रिंग योर डाउट्स देयर. Okay, moving ahead, the second topic is policy recommendations for preventing violence against the LGBTQI community. This is the topic for Astha. So, even in the past month, we have seen I have personally heard about 3 incidents of violence within the Delhi University premises. So, things like these have been there for a very long time. And the part here is ki how we can prevent the violence.
Annapurnima, Namya, are you guys here?
Yeah.
So I'm very eager to hear your views on the topic we just received.
Okay, I'll go if Namya's okay with me.
Sure.
Actually, I wasn't aware that violence was happening against this community. I didn't think like the hate against them was this deep. So like, yeah, I want to research and get to know how to prevent it.
Wow,
It's
there
a
is
big
so
issue.
much. There is so much. If you guys want, there is another very dear transgender friend of ours in India, in Delhi, and she's also she comes on media also very extensively. I think she acted in one of the films recently, and she talks a lot about this as well. And she's associated with the Ryan Square also for a few years. So that's somebody I can also arrange other than the one that we're doing on Friday. And the one who's coming in on Friday may not be that attuned to the violence aspect. Maybe you can call them both, and have an interaction. She shares her personal experience, and yeah, it's something which is very interesting to understand, and also why. So I think अगर इसको लिए कुछ पॉलिसी रिकमेंडेशन करना है, कुछ चेंज करना है, तो सिर्फ व्हाट समझने से नहीं चलेगा. व्हाई इज दिस हैपनिंग, व्हाट इज कॉजिंग इट, वो भी समझना पड़ेगा.
Also, everyone, you have to understand that when we are talking about a community, every individual has their own story to tell. Okay, like when we talk about the human race, some people are very privileged, some people are very marginalized. So that disparities also exist within the LGBTQI community. Just keep that in mind, and you'll have a very wide understanding of the topic going forward. Okay. So, moving ahead, the third topic is a draft petition that recommends legalization of same-sex marriage. So it's like when a guy marries a guy, or a girl marries a girl, or a non-binary marries a non-binary person. So we are trying to get that into a legal thing. Currently in India and many other parts of the world, it is still not legal. Anyone from Ishita's team right here? None. Okay, anyone else have a question regarding this topic? Just in case. Okay, we'll move ahead. So the
Sorry to cut you off, Priyank. Can I say something?
yes.
I just wanted to say that these topics, don't think that if you are assigned a particular topic, that means कि तुम लोग को बाकी topics के बारे में नहीं जानना है. Because the twist here is that once you are done with your own topic, writing about it, you have to also, once you get the other documents, like once you see the policy papers of other teams, you will be analyzing कि दूसरी team ने कैसे किया है, क्या लिखा है, what are the outcomes, and then you will be keeping your own point of view on that particular document, like a feedback thing. So it is important that you understand the basic things first. Go slowly. We will be giving you plenty much of time. We will be giving you assistance, guidance, everything. All we are asking is for your willingness to learn. That would be it.
और मैं धीरे धीरे सस्पेंस बिल्ड कर रहा था पर आस्था ने वो ब्रेक कर दिया. इट्स ओके.
Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know about that. Sorry, Priyank.
Completely fine. Chalo. Moving ahead, we have the fourth topic. It is proposed policy recommendations to make schools safe and inclusive for the LGBTQI community. Okay. So in this respect, we are focusing specifically on the schools. And जो पहला वाला topic है, we are focusing on all the education institutions where students study. Okay. So if anyone has any questions on this topic, Shaurya's team. Shaurya, do you have any question?
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, I was in mute, my bad. Right. So basically, no, I don't have any questions. As such, I explained this to my team. I don't believe a lot of my team members are here right now from my mentor group. So that is there. But I'll have a separate meeting with them and explain this topic to you. We'll just send them to me, personally.
Sure.
Also, I just had one. I did have a small question, where it says draft a petition, right? So that is the same as. So I have a question where it's about the petition word here refers to you submit. It's supposed to be like a appeal or like a court document or like a policy document, like we're doing it.
We can follow the same format as you shared earlier.
Right. Yeah, obviously, right. Also,
पर मेरे को थोड़ा सा इसमें डिफरेंस लग रहा था शौर्य कि इस पे पॉलिसी गवर्नमेंट की जरूरी नहीं है कि आएगा टू मेक स्कूल्स सेफ एंड inclusive. So what is the difference between the first and the fourth? There is a difference. I think we have to be clear. So I think जो हम first में बात कर रहे थे, that is more on 4. Now we are not talking about number 3 right now. We're talking about draft a petition that recommends legalization of same-sex marriage. So this is, you can't have a policy on this. So this is something that you may take to the court, to the Supreme Court, to the High Court, and there the way you make the arguments or the way you draft the petition, that may be different from a policy recommendation. So you might like to look at the format that may be applicable there, Shaurya.
Yes,
might
sir.
be a bit of a work, but I think it's different hoga.
So otherwise, what we can do, we can change the wording of the topic into a policy for legalization of marriage, because there are two ways in which countries throughout the world have legalized this. One is like in the US, where the Supreme Court legalized it, right? And the other is to in a lot of cases, a lot of South African American countries, the government actually passed a bill and law saying that this is legal from now onwards, right? So yeah, we'll change the wording of the topic so that it can fit into the current format.
हाँ, बैकग्राउंड वर्क इसमें भी करना होगा कि केस बनाना है कि भाई क्यों लीगलाइज होना चाहिए. So to that extent that will be common, but इसमें detailed policy के बजाय it may be more simply कि legalize करो उसको, और क्यों करो और नहीं करो तो क्या होगा, something like that. it may have a different approach.
Right, so definitely we can even have a a separate session discussion this, because this is one of the core topics that exist in India, especially we talk about LGBTQ rights. So we'd have a separate session also if possible.
Sure,
Yes, sir.
sure.
Frank, over.
Okay, we'll see to it, but for the time being, you can just research on the topic because the research is going to be the same. Okay, monsters. Okay, so the last topic, which is for the team of Nikita, it is present a case and measures to improve media representation of the LGBTQI community. So, like in today's scenario, when we look at the mainstream Bollywood, you always see the queer people or the trans people playing funny characters most of the time, or they're very degraded within the movies. So that actually gives a very negative connotation to them. And when these media is uh, broadcast on a very large forum, so that's actually an issue. And when you'll read about it, you will know more. But as of now, do you have any questions? Anyone from Team Nikita over here?
Yes, Riddhan is there. Gauri was also there, but I think she's not now.
I am neither a Vongster nor from Nikita's team. Am I allowed a question? I'm
Yes,
Sangeeta Shruti speaking.
yes, you are definitely allowed.
Okay, you say present a case, but isn't this about policy? How can you make a policy to improve media representation? This is an
So
awareness
it's not
issue.
about the policy. Exactly, ये वाला policy के बारे में नहीं है. So तीन तीन अलग-अलग चीजें हैं. तो policy recommendation जहाँ पे आ सकती है वहाँ policy recommendation दिया है. So 1, 2 and 4 is about policy recommendation. 3 वाले में it's a petition that you take to the court.
Just to go to
And
the
fifth
Supreme Court.
wala, yeah, and fifth one is more about some recommendation that you make to the media council, where they start to take those measures. There is uska regulation bhi ho sakta hai. Maybe one can do that, but we are talking about what kind of measures should be taken by the media, not to do justice to this gender. So it's not so much a policy. That's how it's been articulated.
Like I'll give an example. Like in many movies, we'll see that religious bodies object to the screening of the movies and they move to the censorship board of India. So what if just like the religious bodies, there can be a body seeing to this aspect as well, just in case.
If religious bodies are open to go to litigation, so is anybody from the LGBT community. No, just brainstorming, not calling you out, just brainstorming.
Yeah, I
Because
might.
in my opinion, this is more a awareness issue. क्योंकि law सबके लिए open है. If you find something derogatory to any community, it is open to litigation. Do you have the resources for it, or the cost of justice is something different? I would recommend something. If you want to talk about media representation of LGBT community, can we look at it from a different perspective? Can we shake up the kaleidoscope and see, like you have certain rules of censorship in place, should those rules include certain depictions of this community being censored? Should we go into that space? Or should there be a rule which says there has to be an X participation of women in the censure board? Should there be an X percentage of participation of somebody from the LGBT community in the censor board? So that this representation issue can be handled. Can it be looked at from that perspective?
Definitely. So, ma'am, in this case, what we can do, right? Like one point, as you mentioned, can be there. Otherwise, like, see that the entire point where it comes up in censorship and about about freedom of speech as well is about certain restrictions about it being people. There's certain people who call this entire concept to be indecent and immoral and things like that. That's what the arguments are being have been raised in court as well and like in popular media. So what we can do what it can be done in the policy which you guys suggest can be that these parts, these the LGBT depictions in let's say media, mass media will not constitute something indecent, will not constitute immorality just by the fact of it, just on the look of it, right? Because and like things like that. So because many times the censorship, the government, because in India we have censorship board, right? So we just want that the state interference in these reduces. That is the aim of this wording. Otherwise, obviously, you can, as you mentioned, a very good point regards to representation of communities on the censorship board. This can be even taken forward to include like we have there's a call for women representation in parliament. So if you want, like when you talk about inclusion, first topic, you can also talk about, if you want, like maybe just a wild idea, like LGBT reservation representation in parliament, and in
Let us stick to media. Let us stick to media. Once you go that broad, you will never come narrow to a point.
I'm just giving you wild ideas for the like point, but like yeah.
No, hold on, Shraddha. I just want to, because I have proposed this, so let me explain also. Um, so, firstly, the case, why is it required? That also covers all that you're talking about. The fact that they are not treated seriously, they are treated like like a joke in the media, is also not allowing them, to, while there's nothing in law that stops them from standing in election, but their chances of getting elected, to be taken seriously is also going down because of this reason. So develop an understanding of that. How media representation, the showing them in poor light is in itself um, taking away their opportunities. So that understanding is about the presenting the case. And the measures, maybe what Sangeeta said could be about laws, or it could be certain cultural issues. So for a shift to happen, it's a combination of laws and cultures. Something which are not hard laws, but this is an understanding that the community as such develops, and they start to change their practices, because some of the things could be within the law, but they could still be discriminatory. Not strictly as per law, but maybe ambiguous, and one could continue those practices. So I think that's what we are trying to understand. What could be done so that there is a major shift that can happen for them, and why it should happen is presenting the case that is not allowing them to have the right kind of election opportunities, even though there are opportunities.
Like to oversimplify the matter, regional media up to a few years ago, a standard joke was somebody stammering, till it became common understanding that stammering is not something freaky or funny. So once this common understanding comes up, these things will stop being a joke, and that will ease out a lot of things.
Sure. So this is Nikita's team, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
and
sir.
who's representing it here? Nikita?
So
Other than
Gauri
you?
was Gauri and Ridun were there, but
Okay.
Gauri left, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. You are there, no? And similarly for Ishita's team, who's there from Ishita's team?
So no one. I'll take the proxy. Tell that.
You won't take the proxy, man. That you are Ishita's team. You are you are the new mentor, Prayang. Why are you forgetting?
No, sir, I remember she just told me, let me be a mentor for a day or two more. So I was like,
Yeah. But you are from that team.
yes.
Sure. All right.
So shall we move ahead, or are we making changes at the moment?
Did we make any changes? Oh yeah, I want to actually make sure that we clarify the difference between 1 and 4.
Okay, sir.
Is that clear to you, Priyank?
Yeah, so in my understanding, uh, the first one is surrounded around the students of all the institutions, ranging from higher education to the primary education. Where in the fourth case talks specifically about schools in general, public and private both. And in first, we can include guidelines for tuitions, for coaching centers, for universities, and all the other aspects as well.
Okay, so in my view, the difference is actually the first one is to uh, make the um, environments more attractive, make the um, uh, so go to where the community is and ensure that more and more of them are getting education. If they are getting dissuaded to get educated, either because of their economic condition or because they are not able to reach out or they have certain biases, to make sure that they get to the schools. And the second one is that once they get to the schools, there is more inclusion and schools or colleges or whatever. The fourth one is more about once they get to the schools over there, you have made sure that it's safe and it's a safe place for them.
Okay, so
So
I'll
that's the
complete
difference.
Pariniti. Like, I'll just repeat it once again. The first one is how you take education to the community, and the fourth one would be how you make education in general more inclusive for the community.
The fourth one is more a responsibility for the school. So it's a clear policy for the schools.
Yeah.
And the first one is actually policies for several government institutions or NGOs, who are encouraging more and more LGBTQI community to uh, uh, community members to reach the schools to
Yeah.
support that sort of to get to the schools.
Yeah.
And second one is once they get to the schools, more inclusive. So that's the difference how I see it between 1 and 4. So, but if we want to, make them more different, we can maybe modify one a little bit. Whose is one? Which
We can do the difference
team?
between. Yeah.
One कौन सी team के लिए है?
One is for Pariniti.
Okay, and is there somebody here for Pariniti's team?
Yes, sir. It's me, Yugandhara.
Okay, Yugandhara, do you feel comfortable with the current definition and of current understanding of point 1, or should we try and make it different?
Sir, I just was thinking that you just said that how to get education to the students, means for other child who are not able to now. But the earlier you said that about justifying the students, how to get proper classes and what we'll do to be there for their best.
Okay, let me say it. I just, more clarity in my mind. One is, let's say 5% of all LGBTQI students go to schools today. How to raise that from 5% to 60%, let's say. That is one. And out
Okay,
of
sir.
whoever are there in the schools, how do you ensure their retention and completion of education? So dropout rates minimize करने वाला is number 4. And maybe more than 50% or 70% of the LGBTQI students drop out of schools because of whatever happens inside the schools. So that's the difference. So number 1 is focus on increasing the overall representation within the school, percentage-wise, and the policy recommendations for that, and research on what is the reason that they are not included and they are not going to schools, all of that. And the fourth one would be how to ensure their retention, schools or colleges. So I mean, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Are you comfortable with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So, shall we move ahead now with the critic thing? Okay. So, I'll tell Ki which team will be looking or analyzing the policies of which topic. Okay. So, Parinati's team will be analyzing the topic of legalization of same-sex marriage, as well as policy recommendation to make schools safe and inclusive for the LGBTQI community. Then Astha's team would be analyzing the topics, uh, policy recommendation to support the education of LGBTQI students. That is the first topic, and the fifth topic, that is media representation of the community. Anyone having any question regarding the analysis part from Parinati or Astha's team?
I have.
Yes.
Uh, is my topic changed?
No. So you will have to research on the topic of key. How do we get education for the community children, right? At the same time, the other teams will create their documents. Okay. So after everyone has created their documents, you will analyze, check the documents of the third and fourth topic, that is legalization of same-sex marriage and the policy recommendation to make schools safe and inclusive. Does that
Okay,
make
I
sense?
got that.
Okay, great. Anyone from Astha's team having any questions?
No, I'm clear.
Okay, great. And my team, like Ishita's team, will be analyzing the topics of policy recommendations to make schools safe and inclusive, as well as media representation of the community. Then Shaurya's team, that is, Shaurya's team will be analyzing third and second topic, that is violence against the community and the legalization of same-sex marriage.
Right.
Okay, any questions?
No, not at all.
Okay. And at last, Nikita's team will be analyzing the first two topics, that is education for the LGBTQI children and the prevention of violence against the community. Anyone from Nikita's team having any questions?
Redal, if you have any doubts, go ahead.
Okay, for now I'll stop sharing the screen and you can have any general discussion you want, or we'll end it. Anyone in general having any doubts regarding the resources, the whole procedures, the topics, anything? Okay, Astha, would you like to take over from here?
I don't think Asta's here. She said post 8:05 she's not going to be here, so she was expecting you or Shaurya to conclude.
So basically, now as not an issue. Out of Vongster, as Priyank has already shared the topics with you all. Now, as I've already mentioned before as well, we'll be having again a small discussion next Friday, and by next Wednesday 5 p.m. The topic which we have sent, you can prepare the document on that, right? The part which you can do in the format, I'll share the format on the group along with topics as well, which will be shared. So that is there. Dates, yes, Sangeeta, dates will be the 8th of June 2022, 5 p.m. That is Wednesday, right? Any more doubts, please let us know. Otherwise, let's wrap the session up. It's been a great session indeed, right? I especially had a lot of fun. I am sure all of you did as well. And yeah, let's meet next week again. In the meantime, if you have any doubts, feel free to approach me. No, Nisa will not have a discussion on the 8th. We'll have a submission on the 8th. and we'll have discussion on Friday, right? So next Friday, if I'm not wrong, will be the 10th. Right? It will be 10th of June. We have discussion 10th of June, and 8th is a submission, right? As I was saying, you can approach all of us. Welcome. Nice, sir. Not an issue at all. We can approach all of us, me, Priyank, Asta, anyone, your mentors, especially, if you have any doubts, and you will take it from there definitely. Great having you, and thank you for joining in. Thank you all of you, Sangeeta, Yugandra, Naisa, Aniruddha, and Aniruddha Vongal, my bad.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, right. Okay. Priyank,
हाँ.
श्रुति की मम्मी थी क्या? संगीता की मम्मी थी क्या?
I have no idea.
मेरे को फीलिंग से आई थी. I mean, I just didn't expect so much of as a response from her as it like.
संगीता को नहीं जानते आप लोग?
No sir. I mean, could you
Like sir,
She's
मुझे
a
पता आपने group में बताया था, but completely नहीं पता.
ऐसा बता
okay,
दो?
she's my friend. She's my friend. She's a economics mentor. She's actually leading the team of SCG Wong Cafe. Wong SCG Cafe का थोड़ा streamline करवा रही है वो.
Okay, she's that Sangeeta. Okay, no, I thought she's a Vongster. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, right. I was like, उसके parents हैं या क्या है, like इतना ज़्यादा वो like questions and rebuttal and stuff like that. So,
Right.
but like anyway, this was a good session, sir. Anything else like?
No, it was a great start. बस participation हमारा जो है ना, natural participation कम हो रहा है. हम बहुत धक्का मार रहे हैं students को और बहुत last minute और ठीक से market नहीं कर पा रहे हैं यार. We have to improve that. We have to improve that. We have to create more excitement around it and understand and get commitment from Vongster upfront. कि meeting में आ रहे हैं कि नहीं. Commitment मतलब confirmation from them कि वो आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे हैं. That kind of thing. And a lot of them left before 8:30 also.
Yes sir. Also,
ये सब record हो रहा है भाई, पहले मैं recording बंद करूँ.
हाँ जी.